Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. So, it's going to be possibly the last Spirit of Justice stream. What happened last time, Di? A lot. So, see, what's his name? He had to have been rushed to the hospital because his wounds were bleeding. Ellen's fiance. We also discovered that he has he forgets a lot of things, which is why he writes stuff in his journal so he can remember things. And that's where we're pretty much at. Welcome, Phoenix. I would like to show you our guest. There you go, there's our guest. You're on camera. Say hi to people over there in YouTube, Twitch, and Kickland. If he's going to stay there for a while, I'll leave the camera on there. So we're going into the trial. This should be the last day we do Spirit of Justice. Then we'll take a break from Ace Attorney. And I'm thinking that we're going to start the Great Ace Attorney the following week. Kind of fitting that we're ending this game at the end of April. Hello, Allie Bird. Welcome. And he's leaving. And I see a cute little cat. Yes, that would be Cyrano. That would be Cyrano. Technically, Parley is going to be Diusi's kitty cat, too. She likes seeing the cat a lot. September 23rd, 8:50 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. So, the one thing we found out yesterday is that Soren was there at the crime scene. So, yes. So, Soren would be the one that was in the hospital. His wounds started to bleed. So, he was trying to save Ellen at the time. So that's who the mysterious person was that they were trying to look for last time. I only hope I can get some testimony from him. It'll get to the heart of the matter. Mr. Wright. Good morning, Ellen. Look, I'm afraid you might not like the results of today's trial. Nevertheless, don't tell me you're still thinking of going through that route. Soren is innocent. He can't be found guilty. Digby is dead. Helen, please. Try and get a hold of yourself. I believe in Soren with all my heart. So how dare you doubt him? Regardless of which one of them is found guilty today, it's going to be devastating for Ellen, isn't it? We'll just have to do everything we can. That's the best we can do, you know. The trial's about to start, Mr. Wright. All right, let's go, Maya. Yeah. September 23rd, 9 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 6. Court is back in session for the trial of Ellen Wyatt. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Let's see now. Where were we? In yesterday's session, we found out about the Sprocket family's conspiracy to cover up the murder of Demas Bloomsbury with a second reception. Taking advantage of our collective shock, the defense, as usual, made a nonsensical claim, namely, that there was a third person present who struck the victim. Objection! Hey, don't try to make it sound like I made it all up. The defendant herself made a statement about the existence of a third person. The further investigation has only proven her statement to be true. And I presume the defense intends to focus on providing the identity of this third person. Is that all right with you, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed, Your Honor. In fact, I predict that the defense will most likely attempt to name Mr. Soren Sprocket as the true culprit. Miles Edgeworth is always one step ahead of Phoenix Wright, and this always puts a bind on his case. How did you... Well, technically you don't necessarily have to focus on the other chat. You can focus on the one, unless there is something that you need to take care of with the other chat. You can, because all the chats should be in the same chat. That's why the bots are there. So you're actually doing more work than you really need to do because they're all in the same chat. The driver during the accident that killed Mr. Sprocket's sister was the victim. Therefore, Mr. Sprocket had a motive to murder Mr. Gloomsbury. Yes, Soren Sprocket actually does have a motive, but did he actually murder him? That's the question. That's the big question. That's what you plan to assert, is it not, Mr. Wright? Am I that transparent? Come now, Mr. Wright. Did you really think the police wouldn't uncover this information? Congrats on getting it in one, Mr. Edgeworth. But you're wrong. Soren didn't do it. He's innocent. Miss Wyatt, please. He's innocent, I tell you. What is this, Mr. Wright? I thought your claim about the existence of a third person came from the defendant. It did. This is just a minor hiccup. Did you not discuss your strategy for today with the defendant, Mr. Wright? He did. He went ballistic. Starting off on the wrong foot again is seriously cutting into my lifespan. It would appear the defense is in a disarray. Therefore, the best way to clear things up is to ask Mr. Sprocket himself what happened. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Soren Sprocket to the stand. What? Very well. Bela, please bring Mr. Sprocket to the witness stand. So, most prosecutors wouldn't do what Miles Edgeworth is doing right now. They would try to disprove the defense's case completely offhand. Miles Edgeworth will walk this road to see where the defense is going with it before he makes a judgment. He will tread on every step. And if it doesn't add up, he then will try to disprove the defense's case. Because he believes in that term, do not leave any stone unturned. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Ow! There's something weird on this paper airplane. Let's see. Soren Sprocket, Managing Director of Sprocket Aviation. Mr. Sprocket, please give your answer in words, not paper airplane. Mr. Edgeworth always has trouble with his witnesses. Now then, Mr. Sprocket, please tell that doubting lawyer there what really happened at the time of the crime. Well, Mr. Sprocket? Always has trouble with his witnesses. Every game, Mr. Sprocket. Alright. You want me to talk about what happened when the crime occurred? In other words, after the first wedding reception, when Ellen and I were at the reception hall, right? Not even the power of the court can stop him from marching to the beat of his own drum. So, this witness is going to be coming from his book. Or this testimony is going to be coming from his book. Okay? You ready for this guy? What Soren remembers. I was stabbed by Dumas in the reception hall, and I collapsed to the floor. The next thing I saw was Ellen and Dumas on the Vista deck. I knew Ellen was in danger, so I headed for the Vista deck. But when I got there, Dumas was already... I don't want to believe it, but it must have been Ellen. Nothing else makes sense. Well, wait just a minute there. You actually think Miss Wyatt killed the victim? That's right. Dumas was killed by Ellen. This is unbelievable. How can you suspect your bride, the woman you love? His expression is does not correlate to the testimony he just gave.
Objection.
The truth can be cruel. Miss Wyatt, you must be very upset. Is there anything you wish to say? No. I can't believe this. This is Soren. I thought that at least you would believe in me. Best way now to show your love for your groom? To admit your guilt and try to atone. Soren.
Hold it.
Mr. Edgeworth, I haven't even cross-examined the witness yet. And quit picking on the clearly distraught. Yeah, that's not cool, Mr. Edgeworth. The court is where we seek the truth. The truth is unyielding, even to the truly pitiful. Mr. Edgeworth, I find it distasteful to make a lady cry. To your honor. So, what are you going to do, Nick? The third person Ellen saw on the Vista deck was Soren. Then we have to prove Soren was there at the time of the murder. I don't see any obvious inconsistencies in his testimony, but we have to push forward.
Hold it.
Please tell me everything you can about you when you got stabbed. After the reception, Ellen and I were enjoying a moment alone in the reception hall, and Dumas entered and stabbed me. He grabbed Ellen and the timekeeper and left the reception hall. Did Mr. Bloomsbury say anything about the time? At that time, I don't remember. After I was stabbed, I was immobilized by the pain. I see.
Hold it.
The Vista deck, huh? But it was nighttime then. Could you truly see them in the darkness? The moon was out, so I could see them clearly. From the looks of it, Dumas was trying to push Ellen and the timekeeper off the side. So you saw the defendant about to be thrown off the airship, you say? So that's right. In such a desperate situation, it would only be natural for her to fight for her life. And the murder weapon was right there within her grasp. Ugh, this isn't going well at all. I've got to do something fast.
Hold it!
I understand that your bride was in danger, but were you really able to move with a stabbed wound to the gut? I was desperately trying to push the pain out of my mind. I see. So adrenaline kicked in and gave you strength, is that right? I don't see much of anything in this statement I can refute. That's right. I almost passed out several times as I made my way to the Vista deck.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely sure, Mr. Sprocket, that by the time you got to the Vista deck, the murder had already been committed? Yes. But the Vista deck is just on the other side of the glass windows in the reception hall. Shouldn't you have been able to get there right away? Well, there's no door there, so he would have to go through the hold and then to the Vista deck.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, have you investigated nothing? The only way to the Vista deck is to go to the hold and take the lift. No matter how much one hurries, it would take at least 10 minutes. Ugh. Well, that's unhelpful. Someone had to have gotten there before the murder, or my claim won't stand. Do you have any idea for me, Maya? It's definitely easier to prove that someone did go to the hold than not. I mean, you can't leave anything if you don't go someplace, right? Can't leave anything. Wait a minute. I think Maya's onto something here. Lack of a certain something actually proves that Soren didn't go to the hold. What's the matter? Are you stumped already? No, I'm far from stumped, Mr. Edgeworth. I know for a fact that Mr. Sprocket didn't go to the hold. You and your paper-thin bluff. Mr. Sprocket's blood stain on the left proves he went through the hold. So, what possible proof could you have that he did not, in fact, go through there? You want proof? You got it. You can do this, Phoenix. There's got to be proof that Soren didn't go through the hold. Oh, Mr. Wright? This proves that Mr. Sprocket didn't go through the hold. So I'm already starting to think what that piece of evidence is just by going through the evidence. If you think about it, it becomes easy. And yes, it would be on page 2.
Take that!
As anyone can see from the whole entry record, there's absolutely no mention of Thorn Sprocket entering the hold. The defense asserts that Mr. Sprocket used a different route to get to the Vista deck. So this one's also easy. You can assert all you want, Mr. Wright, but can you actually prove another route exists? Can I prove the existence of another route to the Vista deck, you ask? When you think about it, it becomes easy. I can prove it. Even if it's just a bluff, I have to present something. Anything that can prove the existence of a faster route to the Vista deck. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Show us how Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista deck. Mr. Sprocket made for the Vista deck through here. Left lantern? No, the Pegacal lantern? No, he didn't. There's no exit there. It's a little bit more obvious than that. Yeah, it's a little bit more obvious than that.
Take that!
To save his bride from danger, Mr. Sprocket opened the escape hatch and made his way along the outside wall to the Vista deck. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? That would certainly be a much faster route than the Vista deck. I'm disappointed, Mr. Wright. Is that really the best you could muster? That escape hatch is not meant to be used to get from the reception hall to the Vista deck. Well, of course not. One slip, and that's all it would take for Mr. Sprocket to plunge to his death. Do you think Mr. Sprocket would have already known this? I have to agree, the defense's claim is really stretching it.
Hold it!
I understand how it sounds, Your Honor. But at this point, it's too early to definitively say that he didn't go that way. So that's what you're going to go with, then? I take it? Of course, Your Honor. This is real life, Mr. Wright, not some cinematic drivel or comic book. Well, in my reality, it is. Right, Di? In our reality, this is just simply a cinematic drivel, right? Dishwasher's done, Andy. Do you have some sort of logical explanation to share that would convince us of your claim? I do. Are you sure, Nick? Kind of. Actually, I have nothing. So I'll just have to wing it somehow. On what do you base your theory that Mr. Sprocket made his way along the outside? My theory that he was able to get along the outside was this outside wall, despite the danger, is based on to save the bride he loves, the groom risked his life and rushed to her side. Mr. Sprocket was able to make it to the Vista deck despite the danger. Because of the power of love. The power of love? That's the power of love! Anybody know that song? That love is a source of strength that can help one overcome any obstacle. Well, you wouldn't know it because you don't go out in the world to listen to all this stuff. It plays on the radio every day, almost every day. It's a classic '80s rock song. I think I can relate. Thanks to my own long, happy marriage. Wow, he actually seems to be buying it.
Objection!
The power of love, you say? That kind of illogical argument is hardly valuable in a court of law. You mainly listen to Latin music, not by choice. You have Latin music radio where you live? Wow. I feel sorry for you. When you agree, Your Honor. I'm afraid not, Mr. Edwards. You should never underestimate the power of love. You'll understand one day when you get married, which I won't. Exactly what is wrong with wishing to remain unwed? Way to set him off, Your Honor. Never mind all the unscientific nonsense. Are you aware, Mr. Wright, that at the time of the crime, there was a huge propeller turning at full speed between the hatch and the Vista deck? Even if a person were to go outside through the hatch, they'd be blown away in an instant. Ah! Where does your power of love get you now, Mr. Wright? A huge spinning propeller, you say? In that case, I have to admit it does seem impossible. Ugh, should have known. Nick, you can't take that kind of face in front of your client. The worst of times are when a lawyer has to force their biggest smiles, right? Right. I feel like I just saw Mia looking out at me through Maya's eyes. So, for those of you that are in here that don't know who Mia is Phoenix Wright's mentor and Maya Faye's older sister. She was killed in the second episode of the first game. Guy remembers her, right? You actually finished the first game. What did you think of it? By the way, to let you all know, it's going to be 25 years since the first game was released in Japan. A few months, it'll be 25 years. Feeling old yet? I liked it. So episode 5 was long. Well, episode 5 is an added episode that they added when they released it on the DS. Originally, the first game only had 4 episodes. I don't mind episode 5. I get that it's long. My favorite episode on the first game is actually 4. And if you talk about episode 4 would die, she's going to be like, says, not him again. What's wrong, Nick? Why are you gaping at me like a giant sunfish? Thank you, Maya. You just helped me remember something really important. There it is. There's the fearless smile I was looking for. Now give us a mind-blowing theory, just like you always do. I have to turn my thinking around. Instead of wondering how Soren could have moved past the huge propeller, I have to think about what would have made it possible for him to do so. Your Honor, Mr. Wright only makes that ridiculous face when his back is pressed up against the wall. Therefore, please do hurry and give your ruling before... Mr. Edgeworth, still far too early to discount my theory. What are you talking about? The airship's large spinning propellers have already shredded it to pieces. But if we think a little more outside the box, I'm sure we can find a way he could have made it. Stop trying to stall, Mr. Wright, and show us how it could have been even remotely possible, if at all. I must agree with Mr. Edgeworth. Very well, Your Honor. There must have been a way. Some way that Soren could have moved along the wall in spite of the propeller. Now then, Mr. Wright, what specifically would have made it possible? This is how it would have been possible for Mr. Sprocket to get to the Vista deck. Iron boots? If only he was Link. What allowed Mr. Sprock to go along the outside wall is, in spite of the propellers, is the location of the flying chapel at the time of the crime. The location of the flying chapel? But wasn't it flying high in the sky? No, Your Honor, I'm afraid it wasn't. What? Then where was it? At the time of the murder, the airship wasn't flying through the sky, but marooned to the ground. What? And if the airship wasn't flying, then that means the propellers weren't turning. We hit the nail on the head. Right, Di? In which case, Mr. Sprocket could have gotten to the Vista deck along the outside wall. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? I don't remember. He stabbed himself with a pen. I don't remember that visual detail when I was playing the 3DS port. I remember him stabbing himself, but I don't remember the thumb doing that. Ow! He stabbed himself with his pencil! That's gotta leave a mark!
Objection!
Even if the propellers weren't turning, it would have been far too risky to go that way. Ah, but Mr. Edgeworth, you're forgetting the power of love! That's the power of love! Yes, the amazing power of love! Not this again! But very well. For the sake of argument, let's assume that this so-called power of love from the 80s rock band made it possible for Mr. Sprocket to move along the outside wall of the airship. Can you prove that the airship was tied to the ground as you claim, Mr. Wright? Well, I don't have any evidence that proves where the airship was at the time. You can prove it, can't you? Actually, we can. Maya, can you think of something we can use to prove it? Can't say I can. Oh, wait! Didn't somebody see something outside a window at the time of the crime? I think I remember someone saying as much. Do I have a piece of evidence that shows what was outside the airship? Well, what are you waiting for? This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the crime. Di probably says, yeah, it's that! Cyrano, what are you doing in the doorway? You know what it is, don't you, Di? Well, it's not a photo, it's a drawing.
Take that!
Let's hope I picked the right one. This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the murder. What kind of lousy drawing is that? It's a drawing made by Larry Butts. And what can you prove with that poor attempt at artistry? Larry made this drawing before he sketched the lanterns. Or switched the lanterns. So he must have been right around when the murder was being committed. Now, if I would direct the court's attention here. Is that a pterodactyl? Does that mean that the airship actually went back in time to the Cretaceous period? No. No.
Objection!
We've already proven that time travel is nothing more than a gimmick, did we not? We did, and I have no intention of bringing up that argument again. What this drawing shows that's an important piece of information. It shows us that the airship was actually marooned on the ground. And what makes you so sure? That's easy. All you have to do is consider who made this drawing. Larry. So how would Larry have gotten on this vessel in the first place? It would have to be on the ground, wouldn't it? That's right. It was Mr. Butts. We both know what he's like. He must have seen something else and mistaking it for a pterodactyl. Oh, I can't argue with you there. Hey, wait just a doggone second here. What kind of moron do you guys take me for? I saw with my own eyes. A pterodactyl flew right by the window, I tell you. I have the sharp eyes of an artist. Don't you believe me? No. Nick? Nope. So fresh you guys are. What about the judge? You believe me, right, Your Honor? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you need to leave this courtroom. Bailiff, if you would. Come on, buddy, let's go. Why doesn't anyone believe me? Don't take it personally, Larry. I know you're just being, well, you. Oh, now then. So you're saying that what Mr. Butch really saw bears no relation to what was outside the airship at the time of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. At least, I think it does. What this pterodactyl really is will prove the airship was anchored at the mooring dock. It had better, anyways. If it doesn't, my whole argument is a bust. If you're that confident about it, then please go ahead and tell us what it really was. Yes, Your Honor. Think, Bennett. What could the pterodactyl have actually have been? Do you see it? I'm seeing it. I can see it very clearly. Do you see it, Di? This is technically a map.
Take that!
Please take a look at this sign. At the sign, It appears to have been broken and then repaired. But what does this sign have to do with the pterodactyl? Please focus on the part of the sign. The part that broke off and got reattached? What about it? How about if we turn it like this? Oh, that shape. It's the pterodactyl in the drawing. What Mr. Butts actually saw was this chunk as it was been blown through the air by a wind. What? On the day of the murder, there were some heavy winds in the area of the mooring dock. But it's hard to imagine that this sign would make it up as high as an airship would fly. That means the flying chapel must have been anchored at the mooring deck that night. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket?
Objection!
That's more than enough to this power of love nonsense, you pop culture junkie. Present all the proof you want, but your argument is based far too much in conjecture. Why don't we return to reality now? What do you mean, too much conjecture? Even if the airship wasn't flying, that alone doesn't prove that the witness went along the wall. True, but even now, it's no more than a possibility. Then how do you propose Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista deck, Mr. Edgeworth? I noticed something as I went over the evidence. Please take a look at the hold entry record. What about it? I don't see Mr. Sprocket listed on here anywhere. Don't you remember? In yesterday's session, we had a very similar kind of argument. Did we? Honestly, Mr. Wright, are you going senile already? We talked about Larry Butts using the defendant's key card to enter the hold. Oh, we did talk about that, didn't we? In other words, even if a person's name isn't on the entry record, it's still possible for that person to have entered by using someone else's card. Ah! Mr. Sprocket, you went to the hole with Mr. Nicoti, didn't you? I did. What? Why didn't you tell us that in the first place? Pierce is indispensable. I didn't want to mention him unnecessarily and risk having him wrongly accused. I couldn't do without him. Mr. Sprocket, I ask that you testify in greater detail about your movements that night. The truth. Truth is, I went to the Vista deck with Pierce. That's why my name doesn't appear on the hold entry record. I was badly injured from being stabbed, but I was frantic. By the time we reached the scene, it was all over. Well, that didn't help me one bit. Mr. Sprocket, you've concealed information from us time and time again. Who do you think you are, treating this court of law with such irreverence? That being said, I do appreciate the testimony you gave just now. Thanks to you, we now know why your name doesn't appear on the entry record. Now, there are no more inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Ugh. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. Never leaves a loose end dangling. You okay, Nick? Wouldn't exactly call this situation okay. Somehow, I'll have to coax the information we need for an opening out of him. If I even can, that is.
Hold it!
You didn't mention this because you didn't want Mr. Nakati to fall under suspicion? Is that because he has something to hide? I just didn't want the police to take up his time with all their questions, that's all. Neither the company nor the household would function smoothly without him. I see. Wow, it sounds like Pierce is absolutely indispensable to the sprocket. Anyways, getting back to your statement. When did you meet up with Mr. Nakati? We met up on my way to the Vista deck. I think Pierce and some of my relatives were on another floor. But Pierce heard the commotion and came running to my aid. Could hear the pandemonium all the way from another floor? Mr. Wright, would you like the current statement added to the witness's testimony? Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. Pierce heard the commotion, and he came running.
Hold it!
Did Mr. Nakati come alone? I believe some of his subordinates were with him, but I don't remember exactly how many. He may say there were others, but seeing how they pulled the second reception off, I can't completely trust anything he has to say either. I see. So you, Mr. Nakati, and a few others headed to the Vista deck, is that right? That's right.
Hold it!
Your name doesn't appear on the hold entry record because you entered with Mr. Nakati using his keycard? That's right. So I guess the hold entry record doesn't matter as much as we thought. Now that Soren's saying he was with Pierce, a few others, it's pretty tough to refute that statement. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Can't got your tongue? Did you finally realize there's no point in continuing this trial any longer? Ugh. Of course not. Ugh. I'll wipe that smug look off your face. Mr. Sprocket, please continue with your testimony.
Hold it!
Speaking of your injury, how are you doing now? The knife wound is deep and continues to throb with pain. Fortunately, my internal organs were spared, but one wrong move would have spelled the end for me there. Even so, I've seen you up and about all over the place since the incident. I'm only following my doctor's orders to perform some daily light exercise. Mr. Wright, would you like Mr. Sprocket's statement about his condition added to his testimony? Not that it appears especially relevant to me. Could I have him add his added to his testimony. Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added to his testimony. I see. Very well. The knife wound is quite deep and continues to throb with pain.
Hold it!
Your injury was really that deep? Luckily, it missed my internal organs, otherwise I wouldn't be alive right now. According to his doctor, his injury will take about 3 weeks to heal. There's no way someone with that kind of injury could have gone along the outside wall. But he must have been able to, with the burst of adrenaline brought on by the pain. Adrenaline. Is that your answer for everything? In a court of law, the only thing that matters is evidence, not rampant speculations. At least admit it's scientific rampant speculation. May I continue? Yes, of course.
Hold it!
So you still insist that you reached the Vista deck after the murder had occurred? Is that correct? Yes, that's right. Even Ellen must have killed him. There's no other explanation. I guess whether Pierce was with Thorne or not doesn't change the outcome. I guess not. In fact, more witnesses actually makes it worse for us. So another cover-up, huh? That Soren has too many secrets. I bet he's still hiding other things too. That's definitely a possibility. But in a situation like this, what we have to do is go back to the basics. You mean go over the testimony and check for any lies or inconsistencies? You got it. All right, Nick, let's go for it. Press this again. Getting assistance from Andy. So he does have an injury. And based on what we have witnessed from the last one, it appears to be a deep wound. But is he really in pain? That's the question. Do we have any evidence to disprove it? Candelabra?
Objection!
Mr. Sprocket, you just said your injury is a knife wound, didn't you? But the weapon you were stabbed with was this candelabra. In fact, I know you're quite aware of. Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmise, Master Soren was stabbed by Bloomsbury on the day of the murder. Happened after the first wedding reception. The happy couple was in the reception hall when suddenly Bloomsbury appeared, attacked Miss Ellen, and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Bloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with the candelabra, he said.
Objection!
It must have been a simple memory slip that made him misspeak. It happens to everyone. Actually, no, he's reading from the book. It has nothing to do with this case. You must be pretty desperate to point out something so minute. Minute. I have to agree, Mr. Wright. You hardly need to make such a big deal over such a small mistake. But I contend that it's an important inconsistency. Besides, I can't find anything else. This is the only thing I have to go after. And I say it's not important. Now let's not waste any more time on this matter. I agree. Everybody has a little memory lapse every now and then. But Your Honor, please let me explain. But can you really explain to this court what makes this slip so important? Yes, I can, Your Honor. After all, it was Soren himself who told Pierce that he had been stabbed by a candelabra. This is more than a simple memory slip. There has to be some kind of reason for it. Well, Mr. Wright, please explain why the witness's slip of the tongue is so important. The point to focus on here is why the witness would mistake the weapon used to stab him. Think carefully, Phoenix. This could very well change the course of the trial. You see. So why does the witness make the mistake, Mr. Wright? Mr. Sprocket identified the wrong weapon used against him because we kind of mentioned this like several times throughout the stream. So we know the first answer is wrong. You think he's covering for someone? He doesn't remember the incident, let alone the weapon used against him. Not only that, but I believe Mr. Sprocket has some sort of memory disorder. So we've established this. Why is he carrying the journal in the first place, right? Therefore, the defense contends that Mr. Sprocket's testimony thus far is invalid.
Objection.
Just because you can't find a flaw in his testimony, you want to throw it all out? Your baseless claim is nothing more than pure slander of the witness's character. Mr. Edgeworth is correct, Mr. Wright. Can you explain your grounds for making this claim? Of course, Your Honor. Think of what Soren had said, how he's behaved. That's where I'll find a clue. Very well, let's hear your argument then. My grounds for claiming that Mr. Sprocket has a memory disorder is the notebook he always has with him. I saw daily events and information about people around him recorded in it. Like a diary, perhaps? No, Your Honor. It's much too detailed to be an ordinary diary. It's more on the order of a database, actually. Database, you say? That's right. For some reason, Mr. Sprocket is apparently unable to retain memories. That's why he writes every little detail of his life down in his notebook.
Objection.
How could you possibly know that for sure? He might just be an extremely compulsive person. I thought so too myself at first. To be honest, we accidentally got a stain on that notebook yesterday. You mean, you got a stain on it? Hey, you're the one who tried to grab it out of my... Never mind whose fault it was, just get to the point already. Right, sorry. Mr. Sprocket. The page Miss Faye got a stain on yesterday, that's the page with the details of your stabbing on it, isn't it? No, I only write in this notebook because I'm very compulsive. Now, drop the subject already. Sorry, but I'm not convinced. I notice an odd fact about your notebook, Mr. Sprocket. On the earlier pages, you used it to write down invention idea. But after a certain date, you started writing down a lot more and in much more detail. I believe your memory disorder stems from what happened on that date. Something so monumental, it caused a memory disorder, Mr. Wright? You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but I do know what I'm talking about. And this is the proof. This is the thing that caused Mr. Sprocket's memory disorder.
Take that!
You were involved in this car accident too, weren't you, Mr. Sprocket? And the shock of losing your beloved older sister will cause you to develop your memory disorder. Is this true, Mr. Sprocket? Well, is it? Mr. Sprocket. It's true. That accident did something to my mind. What? Ever since that day, every time I go to sleep, I lose my memories. When I wake up, the most recent thing I can remember is the day I lost my sister. It's as if I'm constantly going back in time. What? That's really tragic. Inconsolable time traveler who goes back in time whenever he goes to sleep. Besides, time travelers do exist, you know, but you wouldn't understand. So that's what Soren meant. He's talking about himself. The reaction of the people around me. The time I awoke made me aware of my condition. So I decided to write everything down in my notebook so I could move forward. So the only memories you have since the day are the ones written in the notebook? That's right. And since the page about your stabbing got stained, you couldn't read from it, could you? There's just one more thing I'd like you to clarify for me, Mr. Sprocket. Exactly what are your feelings towards the victim? Mr. Sprocket's feeling toward Dumas Bloomsbury? That's right, Your Honor. The witness said that every time he wakes up from sleep, his memory goes back to the day his sister died. Mr. Wright, you can't mean... Mr. Sprocket. Your pent-up feelings of anger and resentment towards Mr. Bloomsbury for the accident were renewed each and every time you woke, weren't they not? But you couldn't take it anymore, so you turned to murder, is that right? What? Mr. Roy, are you saying that the witness murdered Mr. Bloomsbury for revenge? Ugh. Well, Mr. Sprocket? Miss Wyatt. Your Honor, I did it. I killed Mr. Bloomsbury. No! What? Miss Wyatt, what are you trying to do? Don't tell me you're still thinking of going that route. Soren is innocent. He can't be found guilty. Take me instead. Ellen, please try and get a hold of yourself. I guess you really meant it. My son didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who should be convicted. We do understand that you're confessing your guilt. No. Now, wait just a minute. Ellen, why would you cover for me? After I testify that I thought you must have killed him. I'll admit, I couldn't believe my ears at first. But all I want is for you to be happy. Your happiness. My happiness, Soren. But without my notebook, I'd even forget those feelings of yours by tomorrow. Knowing that, do you still feel this way? You've loved me all this time. The same way you did before the accident. That's how I know that you're the same person I've always loved. No disorder can change that. Ellen, Your Honor, There are two things I'd like to correct. Two corrections? What are they? First of all, I want to withdraw one of my statements. That's right. Dumas was killed by Ellen. Without memories to rely on, I took the police completely at their word. You can't be serious. So that means I never really doubted Ellen in the first place, did he, Nick? Ellen really does love Soren. With all her heart. But in order to save her, I'll still have to go after Soren. I hope you can forgive me, Ellen. What is your other correction, Mr. Sprocket? Truth is, I never felt anger and resentment towards Dumas about my sister. What? Why not? That's because the one who caused the car accident was me. What? Order in the court. Please continue, Mr. Sprocket. I'm the one who killed my sister. To protect my career and my future, father made Dumas take the blame. In exchange for money and the position of lead servant. Newspaper article updated in the court record. So you see, Dumas must have had a grudge against me, not the other way around. And he must have attacked Ellen to get his revenge on me. Are you sure about all of this, Mr. Sprocket? Very sure. It's all been written down in detail in my notebook. That notebook is important evidence. Important evidence supplying background to this case. I must assert you must submit it as evidence. Soren's notebook added to the court record. The lawyer said I had turned to murder, but that's just not true. However, it is true that my older sister, Dumas, are both dead because of me and my negligence. I just glanced through Mr. Sprocket's notebook. I wasn't able to read the part about when he was stabbed due to the blood stain. But what's written here about his sister's car accident is exactly as he stated. Your Honor, as long as it matches what's written in the notebook, can we still take the witness's testimony as valid in spite of his memory disorder? Okay, get rid of that bot over there on Twitch. Yes, I believe we can. I understand now that the witness's memory is in disarray, but if what Mr. Sprocket himself wrote in this notebook is true... Hold on. Before we continue, I want to see something here. Okay, so it doesn't... We can't see the book itself. And then it means by the time Mr. Sprocket's party reached the scene, the victim had already been killed. Edgeworth's right. I'm still in the same bind as before. Should I really simply accept the contents of the notebook as a substitute for Soren's memory? Very well, Mr. Wright. What do you think? Will you accept Mr. Sprocket's notebook as an official representation of his memories? Will I accept Mr. Sprocket's notebook as an official representation of his memories? You sure? I hate YouTube's cat. You really need to fix it. You're gonna say no. Wait a minute, Your Honor. The defense requests a chance to examine the notebook to see if it's trustworthy. Very well, but be quick about it. Thank you, Your Honor. So, how should we examine it? Well, we should look at it from all different angles to see if there's anything suspicious. Okay. There's no point if I don't look at what's inside. I have to open it. With your permission, Sergeant, here I go. Yikes. Oh, it's just the page Maya got all stained. But I guess it's not going to be very helpful at this moment. I'll keep going. This is the last page where there's writing. Something about this page doesn't sit right with me. I'd better take a closer look. The page has been torn out. It looks like there was something written on it. Looks like a page has been torn out of here. Mr. Sprocket, did you know what was written on this? Oh, that? I often tear out a page when I'm writing something. No. I probably wrote something down for somebody, tore it out, and gave it to them. Oh yeah. That solves that then.
Objection!
Wait a minute. We can't ignore the possibility that something important was written on this page. But now that the page has been torn out, how can we determine what was written there? Well, let's see. Find out what was written in the notebook. We should. This one's going to be very clever. If we use fingerprint powder on the notebook, we might be able to see what was written. Fingerprint powder? How would that help us find out what was written there? Well, if the writing left indentations on the blank page behind it, fingerprint powder could make those small indentations visible to the naked eye. Oh, stop. Fingerprint powder would only sully the notebook further. Mr. Wright, if you use the powder and still don't find anything, then you must accept the notebook as a representation of the witness's memory. All right, Your Honor, I understand. If I don't find anything, it's all over anyways. Powder, don't fail me now. I will now use fingerprint powder on the blank page to find out if we can see what was written on the torn out page. First, I will apply some fingerprint powder to these pages with A. When I've dust on enough powder, I'll use B to blow. X to blow. To blow the excess powder away. If something should appear, I should switch to analyze mode with the L button. Point to what came up, then confirm A, my choice. Okay. This feels so different from the 3DS. I technically had unlimited powder on the 3DS version. Says I struck and killed Dumas. This is huge. I struck and killed Dumas. That's what was written on the torn out page. What? It can't be. I don't believe it. There has to be some kind of mistake. Nora would never, could never. Miss Wyatt, bailiff, please get the defendant to the infirmary at once. Apparently, the defendant got so worked up, she's resting in the infirmary as we speak. Now then, please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. This notebook is all Mr. Sprocket has to remember things by. With this critical page torn out, not even Mr. Sprocket himself knew the truth of what he'd done. I'm the one who killed Dumas? So it wasn't Ellen? Oh, thank goodness. Mr. Sprocket, does this mean you were at the crime scene during the murder after all? I guess I must have been. Thorne's notebook updated in the court record. But Mr. Sprocket, can we really believe what's written in this notebook? Nobody touches this notebook but me. When I sleep, it's under lock and key. I don't remember writing that I killed Dumas, but I guess I must have. Well, now that we have a confession, I'm afraid I must render my verdict. Of all the... Yes, Your Honor, please give your ruling now, while Ellen is asleep. I want the woman I love to be set free as soon as possible. Ellen really does love Ellen after all, does he? Yeah. So this is how it ends? But is that how it really went down? Is there really no way for them both to be happy? I know we should consider everything written in this notebook to be the truth, but still, I myself wrote the crime in my notebook. No further proof is necessary. Thorne himself wrote it in his notebook? Excuse me. Wait a minute. Very well. I will now give my verdict. Ellen is about to be found not guilty, and Soren will be convicted for the crime instead. And yet, am I really ready for the judge to give his ruling? No. Not when there's still more avenue left to explore. This court finds the defendant, Ellen Wyatt. Your Honor, there's still something that bothers me about that notebook. Oh, is there? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? All you have to do is keep quiet, and your client's a free woman. I know, but I think there might be more to this case than meets the eye. Not quite sure yet, but I think there still might be a way. A way for Ellen and Soren to be happy. What do you mean by more than meets the eye, Mr. Wright? I believe the question here, Your Honor, would be, why was the incriminating page torn out in the first place? Why, to destroy the evidence, I would imagine? But removing it from the notebook is the same as removing it from Mr. Sprocket's memory, which means he wouldn't have been able to trick the police if he came under suspicion. No, if he wanted to cover up his crime, he would have to remember that he had done it. Just what are you getting at with the line of inquiry, Mr. Wright? Yes, please explain it so that we can all understand. Yes, Your Honor. The page was torn out of the notebook because the incriminating page was torn out by somebody else. What? Order. Are you claiming a third party interfered with the notebook? Not all that surprising if you consider what's happened up until now. After both the car accident and the murder of Dumas Bloomsbury, there was always a cover-up not far behind. I had my notebook with me at all times. No, actually that's wrong. Did you? Because I remember you were in a panic yesterday because you couldn't find it. That's true. So who orchestrated this particular cover-up, Mr. Wright? If we think back over the course of the trial, it's pretty easy to guess. The one who may have tried to tamper with Soren's memory is this one. If you think about it, it's easy.
Take that!
The one who tampered with the notebook in order to manipulate Mr. Sprocket's memory is Pierce Nicotti. Pierce tried to tamper with my memories? Pierce was manipulating me? Case in point, the 2 receptions that were held to cover up the murder. There's Mr. Nakati, who directed the gas and orchestrated the entire scheme. No, it can't be. Which of my memories are mine? Which have been rewritten? When did he start rewriting my memories? Who wrote this? And this? And this? And this? And this? And this? And this? Ah! Ah! He literally took off! What? Look, Nick, he's coming back down. Memories. Helen. That scream broke the sound barrier. That's how I get into character. Mr. Sprocket! Butler, please give Mr. Sprocket to infirmary on the double. Well, the lovebirds are in the infirmary. Mr. Sprocket has been taken to the infirmary. We don't have to worry about him running away, so let us resume where we left off. Your Honor, the defense would like to call Pierce Narcotti to the stand. We already know he carried out the cover-up to protect the company and Mr. Sprocket. What more do we want from him? This time it's different. The notebook, or rather Mr. Sprocket's memories, have been tampered with. That means the only person who knows the whole truth is now Mr. Nakati. Don't tell me. Are you actually trying to drum up a third suspect in order to exonerate the defendant and her groom? I'm not drumming up anything, nor do I have grounds to accuse him of anything yet. All I know is that Mr. Nakati is the only one who knows the truth. And I think he's still hiding something. Something we don't know about yet. No grounds yet, is it? Well, Mr. Edwards, does the prosecution consist of calling the witness to the stand? It does, Your Honor. However, I would like a little time to talk with the witness before we do. Very well. We will break for a 20-minute recess. Okay. The next part should be pretty short because we're only going to be dealing with one witness. Just like we were dealing with one witness before. We only had 2 testimonies the last time. We have about an hour left. Took 2 hours for this one. We could extend it out for another hour, which could essentially give you a break on RPG Maker for a day. So, if anything, this part's going to take 2 hours. So let's review. What did we learn? Okay. You're just building maps right now, aren't you? With Dai, it might take 2 hours, depending on how long she spends on a testimony.
One testimony,
Once we get the mapping done, we'll figure out story. So let's review what we discovered so far in this part of the trial. What do we know? Soren has had his memories rerun. Yes, that's correct. So at this point, we still don't know the truth yet of who's responsible for Bloomsbury's murder. So that whole thing about Soren being the person who murdered Bloomsbury may all be a cover-up. The only thing is, we haven't had anybody to do a writing analysis on the notebook to see who actually wrote it all. And if Pierce Nicotti is responsible for doing most of the rewriting, well, since it's in evidence, he can be charged with tampering with the evidence. Okay. All right. We got one more part. And then it'll be the end. Been a long time coming. Why do you say that? You do realize we still have 2 more games left. We're not doing the crossover yet. We already did actually do the crossover, but we're not doing the crossover this time. As a matter of fact, we did the crossover when we were doing Professor Layton. And we're not doing Professor Layton. I actually have DLCs for the ROM for the crossover if we ever do go back and do it again, which I'm probably not going to be the one doing that game. Because Andy did all the Professor Layton games. Welcome back, Di. All right, we're going to go back into the trial. And we are going to... We're going to miss everybody from the main series because we're not going to be visiting any of these characters in the Great Ace Attorney. So, it's going to be a little depressing for you, right, Di? That you're not going to see any one of these main characters until Capcom comes up with Ace Attorney 7. September 23rd. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Now we'll have to face Pierce on the stand. Not sure if I should be surprised or not. One thing's for sure, he won't be an easy adversary. So, do you think Pierce did it? Too early to say anything at this point. But I do think he's still hiding something. Nick! Why did you pin everything on Soren on Soren Loser back there? Looks like Larry still hasn't given up on Ellen. If this Pierce guy is a real bad guy, then Soren and my Ellie will live happily ever after together. Well, that's the way it should be, Larry. Larry, that's not the kind of thing a decent human being says. Shame on you, Larry. Yeah, you think I don't know? I know I have to give up on Ellie. But Nick, promise you'll make her happy. She deserves a happily ever after. I'm sure Soren will make her happy once all of this is said and done. Trial is about to resume, Mr. Wright. All right, you ready, Maya? Yep, let's go. I'm rooting for you, Nick. September 23rd, District Court. Courtroom number 6. This court is now back in session. Witness, please take the stand. Please state your name and occupation. My name is Pierce Nicati. I am the Sprocket family butler. Let's get straight down to the point, Mr. Nicati. Someone tore out a page from Mr. Sprocket's notebook to manipulate his memory. And that person was you, wasn't it? That is correct. What about it? Well, that was easy. I don't know why he was so agreeable so easily there. If he really wanted to make it look like that wasn't him, he could have just said, "Nope, that's not me. I don't know what you're talking about." But why did you do it? Why did you tamper with Mr. Sprocket's notebook? Please allow me to explain. It pains me to do this, but I'll tell you the truth. Pains you? That is correct. My testimony will go against Mr. Soren's wishes. Soren's wishes? What is he talking about? Why I tore out the page. I rushed to the Vista deck, but the crime had already been committed. I saw Miss Ellen and Bloomsbury collapse, Master Soren writing in his notebook. Master Soren said to me, "I'll take the blame for the murder, but please take care of Ellen." But I went against his orders. I tore the page of his notebook and hid the body. Wait a second. What Mr. Sprocket was writing in his notebook at the time could be... It was meant to be a confession. An admission. He'd killed Bloomsbury himself. He wrote that message to take the blame for Miss Wyatt? That is correct. Master Soren did hit Bloomsbury with the timeskeeper to save Miss Ellen. Then Mr. Sprocket was the culprit after all? However, the blow did not kill Bloomsbury. That makes sense. Mr. Sprocket's injury wouldn't allow him to put much force into it. Enraged, Bloomsbury tried to attack Master Soren, who was already seriously wounded. But just in the nick of time, Miss Ellen hit Bloomsbury from behind and finished him off. It would seem. So the one who inflicted the fatal blow was the defendant? Yes, that is correct. Master Soren tried to take all of the blame onto himself. No way! This is pretty bad, Nick. No kidding. Pretty bad is an understatement. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems your decision to call for Mr. Nicati had backfired. For the true culprit behind this case remains the defendant, Ellen Wyatt. Ugh, could this get any worse? Pierce was involved in the cover-up plot, and I bet he still has something to hide.
Hold it!
Wait a minute. I thought you went to the Vista deck with Mr. Sprocket. Actually, that is not true. What? What did you mean? found this out afterward, but Master Soren went to the Vista deck alone. He went out to the escape hatch in the reception hall and went along the outside wall. What? You can't be serious. You mean Mr. Wright's adapted guess was actually correct? What's with the applicated? I suppose truth really is stranger than fiction. So, Mr. Nicati, when you got to the scene, you saw Mr. Gloomsbury, Miss Wyatt, and Mr. Sprocket? Is that correct? That is exactly right.
Hold it!
So when you and your group arrived at the Vista deck, the murder had already been committed? That is correct. Bloomsbury had already been struck. Miss Allen had lost consciousness, probably from the shock of the incident. How did Mr. Sprocket appear? He was bleeding from the stab wound he'd recently received from Bloomsbury. Barely conscious, he was writing something in his notebook. So the mysterious third person Ellen saw really was Soren then.
Hold it!
So Mr. Sprocket wrote a note of confession in order to take the blame for Miss Wyatt? Yes. The notebook is the only form of memory Master Soren has. So you understand what his actions meant, I trust. What did it mean, Nick? Soren, everything in that notebook is true. Soren tried to take the blame by altering his own memory to make himself think he did it. No! Master Soren truly loves Miss Ellen. Must have been love that made him do that.
Hold it!
Mr. Nicati, could you please tell this court about that in more detail? That, you say? Which part do you mean, Mr. Wright? Could you be more specific? Oh, all right. What part do I want to know more about? Please tell me more about the hiding of the body. Very well. After saying he would take the blame, Master Soren passed out. That's when I hid the body. I quickly took the lift down to the hold where I hid Bloomsbury's still warm body in the spare peggable lantern. So it was you who hid the body, not the defendant? I think Mr. Butts would move the lantern containing the body to the reception hall. Well, I did not see that coming. I don't blame you. Not even Larry can predict what Larry will do next. Maybe I should take another look at the lantern in evidence. Mr. Wright, would you like that statement added to the witness's testimony? Yes, please. Very well. Please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Nicati. This is going to blow a hole in his testimony. In the hold, I had the still warm body in the spare peggable lantern.
Hold it!
Why did you hide the body in the lantern? As I told you yesterday, it was to make it as though the murder never happened. Thanks to Mr. Butts, things did not turn out as planned. So holding the second wedding reception wasn't Mr. Sprocket's idea, but yours, wasn't it? Well, it was all for Master Soren's sake and Sprocket Aviation. If I am accused of a crime for trying to cover up the incident, I shall accept it willingly. He really doesn't seem to even care about himself. So he's talking about the cover-up after the incident, huh? Right, that information only somebody who was actively involved could know. So it might be a really important piece of testimony. I think so too. I'll really have to tread carefully here. The new one. So he did give out a clue, which could probably be helpful to you.
Objection!
Could it be? Is that what happened? If what I'm thinking is true, maybe I can prove neither Ellen nor Soren did the deed. Mr. Nakati, you said the body was still warm when you hit it, correct? So then what if Mr. Bloomsbury was still alive when you went to put his body inside the lantern? What? What? That's preposterous. Actually, this shows the victim might have still been alive while inside the lantern. I'm afraid you'll have to point out which part you're talking about, Mr. Wright. This part here shows that the victim might have still been alive inside the lantern.
Take that!
As you can see, the back of the lantern is a door. And there's blood here on the wheel handle.
Objection!
That blood stain must have gotten there when the witness put the body inside the lantern. It in no way shows that the victim drew his last breath while he was within the lantern. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth, for you see, In putting this lantern back together, the police inadvertently placed the inside handle on the outside and vice versa. In other words, the wheel handles got swapped. Oh my! So they got swapped? Yes, they got swapped. What? But that's ridiculous. Not at all. If you compare the other male peggable lantern in the reception hall, it's quite obvious the wheel handles were attached backwards. The detective in charge of the restoration will see me in my office later. Sorry, Emma. Good luck. In that case, what does the blood stain on the wheel handle mean? Blood stain didn't get there by chance. When the victim was put inside the lantern, he was obviously unconscious, not dead. When he regained consciousness, he probably tried to get out of the lantern. So he grabbed the inner wheel handle, and that's when the blood got on it. This proves that the victim was still alive when he was inside the lantern. At the time, I was completely convinced Bloomsbury was dead. But I checked more carefully, he might have survived. Unfortunately, to be sure, but not significant enough to change the trial's outcome. Hello, Plushie. Again, I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. It actually has a very significant impact on this case. The victim was struck by the defendant, then died from his injuries sometime later. There's nothing more to it.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong. Let's take another look at Mr. Bloomsbury's autopsy report, shall we? Please focus on the description of his injuries. Cerebral hemorrhage from a strong blow to the head. One contusion was found on the back of the head and one on the side. The blows were consistent by the same weapon, so he was struck twice. It says one contusion was found on the back of the head and one on the side. Yes, the one Mr. Sprocket gave him and the one that Miss Wyatt delivered to finish him off. No, the defense would like to submit a different interpretation. A different interpretation? The victim was knocked unconscious by the first blow and was then put into the lantern. And then, what about the lethal blow by the defendant that the witness talked about? Yes, well, that didn't happen. After some time, when the victim regained consciousness and tried to get out of the lantern, that's when he received the second blow to finish him off. Taking into account the fact that the victim was alive for a period of time after the first hit, and then he did receive a second blow to the head, it does seem entirely possible. Yes, as long as the first blow didn't kill the victim instantaneously, then there's a possibility that someone other than Mr. Sprocket or Miss Wyatt delivered the final blow.
Objection!
That's all you got? Even if there was a time length between the two blows, the prosecution's position hasn't changed. What? What do you mean? It's elementary, Mr. Wright. After the reception, when the defendant was cleaning up the reception hall, the victim, who was supposed to be dead, suddenly came out of the lantern. The defendant grabbed the murder weapon, which was right there, and finished him off. That theory sounds awfully familiar. Of course it does, Your Honor, because it's exactly what I proposed at the very start. The second blow was inflicted by the defendant after all. I see. It seems to tangle the mysteries have unraveled in a single thread.
Objection!
But as long as there's a possibility that the final blow was delivered by a third person, then we must continue the deliberations. Give it up, Mr. Wright. Unless you have something to prove that the presence of your precious third person... Okay, Nick, just relax. You can do this. Come on now. Take some deep breaths. Good idea. Deep breath. Deep breath. There. Don't you feel better already? Maya's right. I should calm down. Get my focus back and go over everything. Then, hopefully, I'll be able to find something to prove there was a third person. Let's see. First, why did Bloomsbury attack Ellen? Because he was tired of taking the blame for the accident? But something about that line of reasoning just doesn't feel right to me. No? How come? Well, if it's just a personal vendetta, he had already stabbed Soren. But why then was he so determined to go after Ellen? You're right. This whole thing feels too premeditated for a crime of passion. But Bloomsbury didn't even have a personal grudge against Ellen. If Bloomsbury didn't have a personal reason to attack Ellen, then... You've taken long enough, Mr. Wright. Now, it's time for you some action. What proof do you have that a third person was involved? Alright, I'll show you. I'm not completely sure of what I'm doing yet, but it looks like I'm out of time. This piece of evidence proves the involvement of a third person. I think Maya hinted this out. Yes, it'll be on this page. You remember what Maya hinted out. It should be on this page. No. That would not be... Well, this proves that Soren would be the third person that she saw in this statement. But this is not the third person that they're talking about. I get it now. Now I see why this note bothered me so much when I first saw it. It looks like a note outlining the murder plot. That note was apparently written by the victim. Or was it? But why would he feel the need to write instructions to himself like this? Your Honor, please take a look at this note. This is the victim's murder plan, right? It's definitely a murder plan, but what if Mr. Bloomsbury didn't write this note himself? What? This is how you intend to conjure up your mysterious third party, Mr. Wright? Can you even prove that note wasn't written by the victim? Yes. Yes, I can. Very well then. Please present your evidence, Mr. Wright. This evidence proves the victim didn't write the note. We only have one other piece of evidence that can prove this. You say it's page 2. What would be on page 2 that would help prove this? Mostly you got photographs. You have nothing that's going to compare the writing. Again, we don't have anything else here to compare the writing. Yes, we do have one thing in here that's going to compare the writing. Oh, this might be wrong. This is proof that you've been dying to see. It doesn't look like anything of the sort to me. I have to agree. Just close your eyes and concentrate, Your Honor. Is something coming to you? Logically speaking, that would have been the correct way if we're analyzing handwriting. No, nothing at all. Nothing, huh? Mr. Wright. Close your eyes and concentrate. Do you see something coming to you? I should have seen that coming. Looks like I'd better try again. Okay, so they're not going for handwriting analysis, which means they're comparing it to something else. which would have been the right one. Is that what Andy told you? Oh, okay. Well, there, that makes sense.
Take that!
That also will make sense. This is the weapon Mr. Bloomsbury used to stab Mr. Sprocket. I was wondering what you'd pull out this time. Dare I ask what that could possibly have to do with the note? Mr. Bloomsbury's prints were found on this candelabra, and the prints were from his left hand. So that makes the victim left-handed, correct? Exactly, Your Honor. The police looked into it too and confirmed as such. Now take a look at the smudge writing in the note. Notice how the smudging only shows from the middle of each preceding line. Had this been written by a lefty, the writing would be smudged from the far left end. This means that whoever wrote this note was definitely right-handed. In other words, somebody other than the victim wrote this note. What? But if someone other than Mr. Bloomsbury wrote it, then what does this note mean? Mr. Bloomsbury followed this note to the letter when he attacked Miss Wyatt. So clearly this note isn't a murder plan written by Mr. Bloomsbury, but rather, these are instructions to kill Miss Wyatt instructed by somebody else.
Objection!
If it wasn't the victim who wrote these so-called instructions, then who wrote it? Most of the people involved are right-handed, you know. He is correct. The majority of the family and their employees who were on the airship are indeed right-handed. I must say, that is a very rough and slipshod conjecture you propose. I admit I haven't figured out who wrote it just yet. Leave it to Mr. Edward to go for the jugular. This culprit who ordered Bloomsbury to attack Ellen. What could their motive have been? Doesn't seem very likely Ellen did anything to incur anybody's wrath, right? Right. Not too likely anyway. In that case, it has to be about Soren. If somebody were to hold a grudge against Soren, what would it be about? Yeah, that accident, I guess. I could understand if Bloomsbury felt resentful about having to take the blame. But that one who lost the most of that accident was Soren's sister. She lost her life after all. Soren suffered too, of course. He was crushed by losing somebody so precious to him. Somebody precious, huh? Soren's sister. Wait, there's one more person. There's someone else who must hold a grudge against Soren. Did you figure something out? I think so. I think this somebody else used Bloomsbury to try and get revenge against Soren. Did you say somebody tried to get revenge against Mr. Sprocket, Mr. Wright? The person who manipulated and used Mr. Bloomsbury was... Can be fiance. Because Ellen is Selena's fiance? Maybe. Maybe. I was reading that wrong. Maybe. I was reading that wrong. I was reading as Soren, but it was not Soren that was read there. The person who used Mr. Bloomsbury to try and get revenge on Mr. Sprocket, and then finished Mr. Bloomsbury off to silence him, was a man dear to Mr. Sprocket's older sister. Selena Sprocket's fiance. Not that I'm not positive, but it's certainly possible. This fiance could have made Bloomsbury attack Ellen to get his revenge on Soren. What? Her fiance? Order in the court. Order, I say. Yes. It does seem quite believable that Miss Selena Sprocket's fiance would bear a grudge against Mr. Sprocket for his role in the accident. Exactly, Your Honor. Maybe her fiance was trying to murder Miss Wyatt in order to make Mr. Sprocket experience the same pain he'd felt.
Objection!
Miss Sprocket's fiance was a surgeon, if memory serves. The only people who attended the reception were family and staff members. That may be true, but then that just means that Miss Sprocket's fiance must have been among those who attended. What? Really? Of course. Otherwise, how could he have killed Bloomsbury? Oh, see what you're doing. This is just another giant bluff, isn't it? A lot more than just a bluff. All right, I bite. Who exactly do you claim this fiancé to be? Yes, I would like to know as well. Are you sure you're going to be okay, Nick? Maybe. When it comes to suspicious people, there's only one person on my list. I need to find something that connects him to Selena. This will help us identify Miss Sprocket's fiancé. I already know what the evidence is. I should probably already know what the evidence is. There is a bunch of photos. You'll see it when you see the photo. Please take a look at this photo, Your Honor. That photo. Notice Miss Sprocket's pocket watch? Haven't we seen it somewhere before? Yes, now that you mention it, I do feel as if I've seen it somewhere before. I believe we've all seen it right here in this very courtroom. Ugh, impossible! That's right, the pocket watch in this photo is the same pocket watch Mr. Nicati has on him right now. What? This is clear proof of a strong connection between Pierce Nicati and Selena Sprocket. No. Well, Mr. Nicati, is this true? Mr. Nicati, you were once engaged to Selena Sprocket. That pocket watch you keep as a momentum of her, don't you? Mr. Nakati, you plan to rob Mr. Sprocket of his loved one to make him feel the same pain as you. Isn't that right? But Mr. Sprocket managed to fight back and knock Mr. Bloomsbury unconscious. You thought Mr. Bloomsbury was dead and hid his body in the lantern. So, it would make sense that he would have a motive to kill Mr. Bloomsbury. But then you notice Mr. Bloomsbury regained consciousness. And so you finished him off to prevent your plan from being exposed. This is the defense's take on what really happened in this murder case. Mr. Wright, does this mean you wish to officially accuse this witness of the murder of Dumas Bloomsbury? Does the defense accuse Mr. Nakati of the murder? The defense indicts Pierce Nakati on the charge of murdering Dumas Bloomsbury. Oh my! Mr. Nakati, would you care to respond? He's been looking at that watch intensively for the last couple of minutes. And this lawyer just yaps on and on and on. As you guessed, this watch is a memento of Selena. Stopped working at the time of the accident, though. Why does he keep looking at it then? Then you really are? Yes, it was Selena's fiance. Not just her fiance, but the surgeon beside her deathbed.
Objection!
Mr. Nakati, why didn't you tell me any of this before? Shut it, you useless prosecutor. I thought you could be of use, but apparently this case was too much for you. What did you just say? Your office hadn't stuck its nose all up in this. Could have swept it under the rug. Not only did you interfere with the case, but you even let me fall under suspicion. That's because you kept trying to cover things up on the sly. Ugh. But covering things up wasn't your only involvement. The only person who had a motive to use the victim to try and kill Miss Wyatt was you. Ugh. Malignant tumors. There are malignant tumors in this courtroom. Legions oozing with false charges. Tumors are one idiotic lawyer and one useless prosecutor. After the trial is revealed, I'll have the both of you incised for the legal world. I'd like to see you try. With the power of the Sprocket family, it'd be a sin. I will now begin the operation. What in the world happened to Mr. Nakati? Looks like he's finally showing his true colors. Nick, look what he did to that shoulder mat. Quit your yapping before I suture your chatty little lips. It's like he's a completely different person. Sure looks like it, huh? We can't let our guards down now. Mr. Nakati, it's finally time for you to testify to the truth. It seems we're entering the final act at least. Witness, your testimony, please. Right to remain silent. Well, Mr. Nakati, why didn't you say anything? Ah! He just took a picture of me or something. You want me to voluntarily testify, hoping I will make a slip of the tongue? Not a very impressive plan. Or brain, I must add. Oh, that wasn't called for. If you want to know something, you ask the question. I will answer. I have no intention of making any voluntary statements of my own. Ugh. What's he trying to do, Nick? He's using the silent treatment as his strategy to avoid getting tripped up. Clever guy. No more lies, Mr. Nakati. You will tell us nothing but the truth from now on. What do you think you're doing? No one asked you to speak. Just keep quiet over there and play with your frills. How dare you? Well, this is a rather unconventional situation, but please proceed, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Are you ready for this cross-examination, Di?
Hold it!
If he won't speak voluntarily, then I guess I'll have to ask him something. What question should I ask? This one you're going to end up having to do a lot of the work. So if you want to ask Andy so we can get it done quicker, you can ask him. You've been nursing a grudge against Mr. Sprocket over the loss of your fiancé. Isn't that right? I'd be lying if I say I felt no resentment whatsoever. Master Soren didn't cause that accident on purpose. Master Soren himself had suffered greatly. But you quit being a surgeon and found a way to get even closer to Mr. Sprocket. Wasn't that so you could carry out your revenge on him? Don't insult me. Supporting Master Soren and Sprocket Aviation with my life's work is my penance for not being able to save Selena. This is how I honor her. Fulfill your devotion as both a fiancé and a surgeon. Your statement breaks my heart. I've never thought of it exacting revenge on Master Soren. Never thought of it, huh? I guess I should probably take that with a pound of salt. Mr. Wright, would you like that statement added to the witness's testimony? Yes, please, Your Honor. I have to find an opening somewhere. I've never thought of exacting revenge on Master Soren.
Hold it!
So you have had no thoughts of revenge towards Mr. Sprocket whatsoever? Of course not. Selena wouldn't have wanted that. I've thrown my own life away and lived solely for the sake of the Sprocket family. That's how I show my love for her. All right already. Alrighty then. Well, one thing's for sure. Pierce gets really emotional when it comes to Selena. No kidding. Not sure how he feels about Soren, but his love for Selena is pretty obvious.
Hold it!
If he won't speak voluntarily, then I guess I'll have to ask him something. What question should I ask? So we already did a grudge against Soren. Isn't it true that when Mr. Bloomsbury regained consciousness inside the lantern, you murdered him in order to silence him? He was an excellent employee and very loyal to me. Bloomsbury was my right-hand man. I'd suffered the most from losing him. You really think I'd kill a guy like that? Yes. That would make sense only if you were innocent. But since your goal was revenge, you don't really have to care about something like that. But I am innocent, I tell you. Don't try to force your conjectures onto me. I guess without decisive evidence, I can't pursue this line of questioning any further. Mr. Wright, would you like that statement added to the witness's testimony? Yes, please, Your Honor. Every little bit I can drag out of him helps, right? Bloomsbury was my right-hand man. I'd suffered the most from losing him.
Hold it!
What did Mr. Bloomsbury think of Mr. Sprocket? After all, he was forced to take the blame for the accident. He must have been resentful. He got his position as the lead servant in the exchange for taking the blame. It wasn't exactly a bad deal for him. But he must have felt some sort of indignation. Who knows? Now that he's dead, we'll never know for sure. It's pointless to talk about it any further. All right, dead men tell no tales after all.
Hold it!
If he won't speak voluntarily, then I guess I'll have to ask him something. What question should I ask? Well, we're down to one last question, so we're going to have to ask this one, right, Di? On the day of the incident, you were constantly surrounded by your subordinates. Is that right? Absolutely. I was in someone's line of sight at all times. After all, I was busy taking care of every detail of the event. Mr. Edgeworth, I believe your investigation backs up my claim. I got statements that said groups of his subordinates worked with him in rotation, so he was always with someone. As the prosecutor just said, I couldn't even get close to the lantern containing Bloomsbury by myself, let alone kill him. Pierce didn't have a chance to get close to the victim alone, huh? Mr. Wright, would you like that statement added to the witness's testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have that statement added to his testimony. Very well. I was always in the company of others. I didn't have an opportunity to murder Bloomsbury.
Hold it!
So, you were always in someone's line of sight? I was surrounded by family members and staff as we prepare for the reception. During the reception, I was stationed behind the sweetheart table to attend to the couple. When could I have possibly committed murder? Not buying it. If Pierce is the true killer, then there must have been some time when he was out of everybody's sight. What do you think, Nick? Is there a chance for us here? Well, as long as we have some kind of testimony from him, there has to be. I'll just have to compare his testimony against the evidence and find an inconsistency, right? Exactly. This is it. I have to do this right. Is this the statement? What evidence do you think we can prove against this statement? The body of the photo. Well, that does not prove that he was or wasn't with anybody. This one?
Objection!
Mr. Nicati testified that he was always with someone at the time of the incident and never had a moment alone to commit the crime. Yes, and the police investigation backed that statement up, doesn't it? But there was an opportunity, in fact, one and only one. A moment when Mr. Nicati could have killed Mr. Bloomsbury without anyone noticing. What? And the one thing that made that moment possible is shown here in this photograph. With all those people watching, I couldn't have possibly committed murder. Do not believe him, Your Honor. This lawyer is a malignant tumor. He wants to perfect this judicial... Mr. Nicati, I would ask that you keep quiet this time. We need to evaluate the defense's claim. And your yammering only serves to throw further suspicion your way. Mr. Wright, let's see this one thing you mentioned. But be warned, this had better not be one of your offhanded claims. Who do you think you're talking to, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, Mr. Wright. Please point out for us the one thing that made the moment of the murder possible. The one moment when it was possible for Mr. Nicati to kill Mr. Bloomsbury. The one thing that made the single moment possible is this. The dry ice? Well, it probably would be more up here, right? I would probably use this. Fog machine.
Take that!
The one thing that made the moment of the murder possible is that this thick mood fog that engulfed the entire reception hall. It is under the cover of these fogs. And Mr. Nicati murdered the victim. What? Mr. Nicati was standing right next to the Lancer that Mr. Bloomsbury was in. This was the only moment the murder could have been committed without being seen.
Objection!
I can accept that there was a moment when the witnesses were obscured from others by fog. But that doesn't prove Mr. Nicati killed the victim at that very moment. If you can't prove the crime was committed during the reception, the trial ends here. So close. I was so caught up in finding a foothold that I forgot to think that far ahead. Well done, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time to call this trial's time of death. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove the murder happened during the reception? Don't even bother. His claim is dead on arrival. Victory is within your grasp, prosecutor. Quiet, witness. I have no interest in victory. All I care about is the truth. One that will only arrive at through further deliberation. Edgeworth. Enough of this, Your Honor. This trial's over. No, Mr. Nicati. That is for me to decide. Mr. Wright, can you prove it? Can you prove that the murder was committed during the wedding reception? Why is there no verdict yet? The lawyer's obviously out of answers. The prosecutor, the judge, they're all infected. Their malignant stupidity is so advanced, not even the best surgeons can save them. In fact, not even a brain transplant could cure them. This court is infected with idiocy. It's a pandemic.
Objection!
Mr. Nicati, that's enough already. Finally ready to give up, are you? No, just the opposite, actually. I'll prove the murder was committed during the reception by you. You'll prove it? Can you really, Mr. Wright? Yes, I can, Your Honor. To be honest, I don't know exactly how I'll do it just yet. But if I wanted to get the truth Edgeworth was talking about, I'll just have to find it that way. Very well, Mr. Wright. Let's have your proof. Enough of this foolishness. He's just bluffing. Stop him from speaking, Your Honor. I will do nothing of the sort. You are just a district court judge. Enough of your foolishness, Mr. Nicati. This judicial body will not succumb to the influence of money or power. Now then, let's hear it, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your truth. Think, Phoenix. Remember everything you've learned so far. You can do this. You can find the definitive evidence that will lead us to the truth. Think, Phoenix. How can I prove the murder took place during the wedding reception? If Pierce committed the murder during the reception, then he had to have used yes, the murder weapon that was used to strike the victim twice. According to the autopsy report, the victim was hit by the same object both times. So without a doubt, Pierce used it to commit the murder. The weapon used to kill Bloomsbury was timekeeper was the murder weapon. If Pierce struck the victim during that one single moment, then he must have used the timekeeper. Come to think of it, wasn't it also used for something else during the reception? During the reception, the timekeeper was also used for Is that what you're also going to go with, Dai? You're going to go with the cutting of the machine? Timekeeper had been activated. That's right. The timekeeper had been activated during the reception. If we activate the timekeeper again now and find any trace evidence of the murder, that would be conclusive proof that Bloomsbury was killed during the reception. A special ceremony took place during the reception in question. What kind of a special ceremony? It was called the first startup of love. Apparently, the couple activated the timekeeper for the first time during it. Does that mean the timekeeper here is evidence isn't activated at the moment? And what would happen if we were to activate it? Why don't we see for ourselves? It would give us a chance to examine it. And while we're at it, we just might find some conclusive evidence. What? No, you can't activate it. Mr. Nakata, keep quiet or I'll have you thrown out of court. Ugh. By the way, Mr. Wright, this is supposed to be a time machine, right? We aren't going to travel back in time to the Stone Age or anything, are we? I don't think we have to worry too much about that, Your Honor. I'm still a little nervous nonetheless, but the truth must be known. Very well, go ahead and start up the timekeeper. Do you know how, Nick? I think so. Maybe. The bride and groom each had a symbol of their love, and when they put them together, oh, how romantic it was. Let's see. I think the symbol of the groom's love must be the timekeeper itself. The symbol of the bride's love would fit together with the timekeeper. Oh, I know. That has to be it. Mr. Wright. Are you ready to activate the time machine now? Yes, Your Honor. The symbol of the bride's love that's necessary for activating the timekeeper is no. No. We technically... It's got to connect to the timekeeper. The fog machine can't connect to the... There's something else that goes to it too. So we have this one, and then we do have this one. But this has to go on before the key. This technically has to go on before the key.
Take that!
That's why it's pendant. Is the symbol of the bride's love that's necessary for activating the timekeeper. What? And does that mean you can start it up with Miss Wyatt's pendant? I believe so, Your Honor. Very well. Please try it now, Mr. Wright. Okay, here I go. First, I have to figure out where the pendant goes. It should go in the back. Right here. You go right there. This hole looks like a good spot. I'll try setting the pendant here. It fits. This must be the right spot. Now I have to find a place to insert the key. Should be right here, right? This hole in the middle of the pendant. Could this be it? And there we have it. It worked. The timekeeper has been activated. And there's the blood. So, it was used during the reception. Now, all I have to do is find proof that the crime was committed during the reception. Now, where do you think it was? Where do you think it was? Poor Soren is down. Poor Soren is down. Where was it, Di? The crack. I think I found it. Conclusive evidence that the murder was committed during the wedding reception. Just as I suspected, there's evidence of the murder inside the timekeeper, Mr. Nicati. The timekeeper was only activated and opened during the wedding reception, right? No! Stop! So that means this is conclusive proof that the crime was committed during the reception. Ah! After you killed the victim under the cover of the fog, you closed the timekeeper to hide the blood stain, didn't you? Timekeeper updated in the court record. No, you're wrong. Ellen killed Bloomsbury. It wasn't me, I tell you. Give it up, Mr. Nicati. How could the defendant, who was in the middle of pledging her love, have possibly committed the murder with everyone watching her? It was the family. Yes, all the family members conspired together to kill him. There's no way you can talk your way out of this, Mr. Nicati. During the reception, during the one dreamlike moment, only one person could have used the timekeeper to beat the victim to death. And that one person was you, Pierce Nicati. No, this isn't over yet. I won't give up. Oh, no! I cut the artery. The stupid thing. We must not stop the bleeding now. Give me forceps. Forceps now. Hey, where is everyone? Fine. I'll manage this alone. I'll do it all by myself. I can't fix anything, repair anything. So that's better. I would have been able to save her. If only I'd listened to her. If only I'd treated her first. If only that sword hadn't been the... Selena! No! Witness, are you finally ready to tell us the truth? Just as the lawyer deduced. So it was all a revenge scheme against Soren Sprocket? Do you have any idea how hard it is to lose someone you love right in front of you? Selena's condition was clearly very more critical than Soren's, but in spite of that, she said, "Please, love Soren." Miss Sprocket's last words. So that's what he really meant by those words. Was able to grant her wish, but at the price of her life. You got a job with the Sprocket Aviation and waited for your chance to get revenge. You got close to Mr. Bloomsbury and hatched this plot, is that right? Bloomsbury already bore a grudge against Soren. And when I tempted him to an even better position, immediately took the bait. He was your accomplice, someone who shared the same goal as you. Why was it necessary for you to kill him? I didn't expect Soren to strike Bloomsbury out on the vista deck. I certainly never imagined him make his way there along the outside wall. Soren's love is the real deal after all. My plan had been compromised. So for the time being, I hid his body in the lantern. Tried to think of my next move. Then Mr. Bloomsbury came during the second wedding reception. As soon as I saw Bloomsbury, I immediately hit on an idea. To pin the blame of Bloomsbury's murder on Ellen. You try to break up the couple by making the bride out to be a murderer? How despicable. Someone was getting the company in a wedding. Both things were supposed to be Selena's. He took every happiness from her. Who's the despicable one here? Do you think what you did would make her happy? I know it wouldn't. But I couldn't just stand by watching Soren enjoying his happiness. I was going to have Soren taste the same pain I had, then take over Sprocket Aviation. To take back from him all of the happiness that was rightfully Selena's. Time stopped for me the day I lost her. Just like the pocket watch of hers. Pierce. Miss Wyatt. I believe seen the Selena would have said, leave the sill behind. Your time is yours to live. Too late for me. Time will never advance for me ever again. What? I see now, Selena. What I did was wrong. I see no further need to continue this trial. Bailiff, please take Mr. Nikati away. Pierce Nikati, another inconsolable time traveler who lived in time that stood still. What? Oh. Know that I must render my verdict regarding the defendant. Your Honor, before you give your ruling, would you please allow me a moment? Oh, very well. Ellen, there's something I need to say to you. Yes, Soren? I've put you through something truly horrible. This whole thing happened all because of me. I would understand if you wanted to call off our marriage. What? Of course not. I would never once thought that. If you stay with me, you only face even more trying times in the future. What do you mean? The truth of this incident, the car accident before it, I'm going to tell the public everything. I expect the company's reputation will suffer, and I'll take a lot of criticism. But I feel it can only really start over once I get everything out in the open. Soren, after all that's happened, I may not have the right to ask you this, but, well, how should I say this? Maybe it'll just... Life with me probably would be very easy, but... Will you marry me? Yes, of course. Your Honor, thank you for this time. Please continue with your ruling. Very well, but first, I have one question. Do the two of you pledge your eternal love for each other to the goddess of justice, Themis? I do, Your Honor. I do. Okay. Does the prosecution or the defense have any objections? Well done, Your Honor. No objection here. The defense has no objections either, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Miss Ellen Wyatt. Oh, that's not right. This court finds the defendant, Ellen Sprocket. This court is adjourned. They got married during a trial. Can you say that ever happened in history? September 23rd, 11:36 a.m. District Court. Defendant to lobby. Number 3. Ellen, Thorne, congratulations. Mr. Wright, I can't thank you enough. If you hadn't exposed the truth, Thorne, we wouldn't. But now you can finally start your new life together, right? Oh, thank you! Mr. Wright, we'll be holding our real wedding ceremony in the near future. Would you do us the honor of coming to it? I want you to witness our first start. Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And Ellen, this time, you'll finally be happily ever after, right? Oh, yes! The two of you have preserved and overcome this trial together. Now, no matter what obstacles come your way, I'm sure you'll be able to handle them. There's another thing I'm sure of too. This person will always be watching over the two of you. So, you're gonna have to ask Andy for this one. I think I may know the answer.
Take that!
Selena? Yes, I think you're right. And we promise to live life to the fullest. For Selena's sake, too. Right, Soren? That's right. Well, we'd better be on our way. Yes, my love. Wow, the old threshold carry, huh? Way to show off. We'll be seeing you. Goodbye for now. I'll be looking forward to that wedding. Hold on tight, Ellen. You better believe I will. I'm never letting you go. They're blasting off again, Di. Here they go. I got that reference. You're thinking of going to that wedding by yourself, are you, boss? You're taking us too, right? Oh boy! I bet there's going to be all kinds of fancy food there. Tina, when did you get here? Just now. I would have been here to cheer you guys on earlier, but Lucy never gave me a chance to slip away. You're going to be in even bigger trouble with her later. Speaking of the wedding, maybe I should ask them to invite Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, really? But he thought Ellen was guilty all the way to the end. That may be true, but don't even bother. His claim is dead on arrival. Victory is within your grasp, prosecutor. Quiet, witness. I have no intention in victory. All I care about is the truth. One that we can only arrive at through further deliberation. If he hadn't stood up for us when he did, the trial probably would have ended there. You mean Mr. Edgeworth gave us that chance? Maybe. So knowing him, I doubt he'd ever tell, even if I asked. Well, if that's how you feel about it, Nick, then why not try to get him invited? Hey, Maya, have you ever tried to catch the bouquet? What? No. I never have either. Why do you have a bouquet that's been tossed by the bride? Talk about a fierce competition. I'm totally stoked. I'm not sure it's really supposed to be all that competitive. I'm a pretty good jumper, so I think I've got a chance. He's definitely missing the point of the whole thing. And Larry, how did you manage to stay so quiet for so long? Shut up! Wishing the lady you fell in love with every evidence is what a real man does. Pretty sure that relationship was over before it even began, Larry. I don't know, if only I was 10 years younger, things would have gone differently. Hands off! Why won't you turn back time? Hands of time, why won't you turn back for me? September 30th, 9:20 a.m. Rocket Park, mooring dock. So we're going to see a cutscene of the wedding. Today is Ellen and Soren's third wedding ceremony and reception. I heard the bride and groom insisted it'd be on the flying chapel again. In the end, they were nice enough to invite me and Maya. And Athena kind of invited herself. They also invited Edgeworth, Emma, and even Larry. They say third time's the charm, right? Really do hope it's happily ever after for them this time around. Still, I get the feeling it's going to be one rowdy party.
Ready when you are. Okay, here we go!
Oh, hey! Look who's next! Huh?
Get back! Haven't you ever heard of late hours?
I'm truly blessed to have you.
Well, Soren is the perfect embodiment of that movie 50 First Dates. Congrats, you've unlocked a special bonus in the music and background setting scene. Spirit of Justice commemorative. Sonogai? I don't speak Japanese very well. Congrats. You've unlocked a special bonus in the music and background setting scene. Trilogy commemorative. Tetsuya Yoshikawa. Okay. Yes, completely done with the Apollo Justice trilogy. We finished Spirit of Justice. You all gonna miss the cast. Yes. Let's ask. Guy, who are you gonna miss the most? Most of them, really? You have a favorite character out of the main cast? I won't be doing that one, but that'll be after. You're gonna miss True. You like True Seed the most out of all the characters. Flushy, do you have a favorite? You forgot her name? Which one are we talking about? The one that was just shown on there? The one in purple. She's technically in, if you're talking about Rafa, she's technically in pink. That'd be her right there. If you're talking about the one in purple, that would be Maya Fey. She's been in all of them except for 2. Okay. We will put this thing to sleep. Change the channel. Confusing? Hey there. And you're not going. Okay. All right. Since we've completely finished the main series, India's going to take over and do the Great Ace Attorney. We're right there in the middle of this year. I have a feeling that he will probably be done with Great Ace Attorney next year. So he may start the second one like towards Christmas time, but he'll be on the first one for the majority of the year. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to play a different game next week. I thought about Little Samson because I heard how great that game is. I will have to check it out first before I make a final decision. But we'll figure out something for Monday. Then on the following week, we should be starting off with the Great Ace Attorney, and Andy should be doing that. He's going to be voice acting all of those characters. So you going to be ready for that one, Di? That one's going to be that's going to be slightly different compared to the main series. So that plays relatively different. My experience the first time I played it, I enjoyed the first game. I thought the second one was kind of boring. I also had COVID playing the second one too, so because they didn't really add anything new to the second one, that's why I kind of found it most of it boring. I actually did enjoy the last episode of the second game. Other than that, most of the game was rather boring. Is it a bad game? No, I wouldn't say it's a bad game. I just did not really enjoy the second one as much as I did the first one. Because in the main series of the Ace Attorney game, you always got something new. They gave you something new to enjoy the game. It's not just the same thing throughout. At some point, we will try to finish up the Famicom Detective Club series. We do have one more in that series to do at some point, but we'll get to it. So what's the look for this week? Andy wants to do more of Luigi's Mansion 3. He's got some miscellaneous stuff that he wants to do. And if there's time, he wants to do the Scare Tower, I think it's called. Air Scraper. Okay, well, whatever he wants to do with it. Wednesday, we're going to do more Pac-Man World. We should have two more worlds left in that. I guess we can call it areas. So we're almost done with Pac-Man World. I believe I'm going to give it about 2 more streams for Pac-Man World, and then we're going to move into Pac-Man World 2. Thursday, we're going to be doing Legends of Oasis. I did tell you guys that I had to start over, but I'm almost caught up. So we already got Bow, and we're going to go directly into the Sound Shrine. We're going to start that because that's where I was left off before, and I was almost at the boss fight last time before I had updated BizHawk. And sadly, my save file kind of vanished when I updated BizHawk, but it is what it is. It's not a really long game, so catching up wasn't that big of a deal. And then on Friday is what, Di? At times you have to update things after you finish streaming it. What am I updating after I stream it? Yes, because when I updated BizHawk, it didn't save it didn't save any of the progress I had. My save file was gone. So I had to start over. That's what happened with Legends of Oasis. That's because there was a new version of BizHawk and I updated it. For some reason, it just wiped out my save file. Unfortunately, I don't know how I would have saved this one with BizHawk because there was no way to back it up when I updated it. There's like gave me no warning that I was going to lose my files and stuff like that, and says, "Oh, we're going to update it." And then when I open up Legends of Oasis, it says, no save file. Oh well. It's a short game. I can start over. But it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen with every game, and it doesn't happen with every emulator because I don't lose a lot of saves off of Meeson or SNES 9X. I haven't lost any with since I had fixed things for PSS X2 and Dolphin. So we will have to at some point go and recreate the teams for the PFL and Wacky World Football League. We'll eventually have to do that. Okay. So there's gonna be no Discord stream tonight. Guy wants her break, right? You want that day break. So that's gonna be it. You all have a wonderful night. Take care. Bye.